Yes? Say it a little loudly. COVID is a virus. And it causes some diseases in the community, which is, so do you think we have to revise how the virus is, what are the viruses, what is their structure, how they multiply, and how they utilize the machinery of a host cell to replicate themselves. Basically, the viruses are not, they not think themselves as notorious and health problem producing organisms, but the nature has given them जैसे कहते हैं ना कि the scorpion. The scorpion is a habit just to put the stings on the people. So the viruses, they don't know what they are doing, but the orders from the nature have been given to them. It just make you to survive and replicate. So, basic knowledge of the virus is they are very small structures. They are not cells. They are the part. We cannot say these are the particles, but the organisms who are having some genetic information, especially for their survival and multiplication. And their size varies from the 20 nanometers to the smallest cell, the 300 nanometers in size. Most viruses appears two shapes, the rods and the spherical cell, and the viruses contains either DNA or RNA. This is the genetic information which they are containing either the DNA or the RNA, but not both. And all viruses have a protein code. It's called a capsid. That covers the genome. A capsid is composed of the repeating subunits. It's called the capsid. In some viruses, the capsid is the outer surface when it's not enveloped. Right? And this envelope, from where they get? From the host cell membrane. So, usually it is a bilipid membrane. अब मेरे पास होने की आदत नहीं है, हमारे घरवाले ने बोला कि तो पुलिस भी कराओ. What is nucleic capsid? It is the two things: the nuclear material, the genetic material, as well as the capsid. That's why we call it capsid or nucleocapsid. Appears as either it is spherical or helical form. Okay? And they are either single-stranded or double-stranded. So they are their nature, the DNA or RNA. Okay? They are a single haploid. What do you mean by haploid? One genetic information from only one strand, genetic strand. And viral services proteins mediate attachment to the host cells. ये प्रोटीन कौन से होते हैं? वायरल प्रोटीन कौन से होते हैं? कैप्सिड होते हैं ना? और उसके ऊपर किसी पे क्या क्या होता है? Why we call the corona? Why we call it? Because it is having the spikes, having a head just like pinhead. So the antigen proteins are also targeted by the antibody. So the antigenicity of these capsids and as well as their nature is very good tool to make the antibodies against them in the body. Either the naturally or acquired, we develop it as a therapeutical use. So, what are the polymerases? Polymerases are the enzymes which make them genetic material of the DNA or viruses to just get incorporate into the host DNA as well as propagation and production of the copies of the DNA of the virus. और इसकी serotype की ज़्यादा बात नहीं करेंगे कि आज हमारे टाइम. And you know about from the envelope of biolipid membrane is derived from the host cells, and typically the envelope is acquired and the virus is from the cell, a process from the body. Yes, body. From your book, picture of enveloped and non-enveloped viruses, what they are having, nucleocapsid. अच्छा भाई आपका दो है पॉइंटर. So nucleic acid as well as the capsid, which is made up of capsules. So this is the non-enveloped, upper smaller one, having the spice on the capsid. And this is here. This is the enveloped viruses. It is having the biolipid layer from the host, and then is having the nucleocapsid and the genetic material. Glycoprotein spice are on these membrane, outer membrane. So ये स्पाइस जो है कि हमारे अगर न्यूक्लिएटेड है तो एनवेलप्ड है तो उसके जो लेयर है, जो लिपिड लेयर है उसके ऊपर same picture from your book. You are looking at since last 3 years the same picture, same story is in a one diagram. It is just telling us about the attachment of the virus and uncoating of the viral genome site and early viral mRNA synthesis, and this is for the enzymatic purpose for incorporation and multiplication of the genetic material. After that, after early viral protein synthesis, the viral genome is replicated, and then the late viral. This is the product. Basically, this is the product. ठीक है? And then the late protein synthesis, and this is the basically copy of the virus itself. Otherwise, early synthesis is the protein for just to make the environment for replication and the viral release. तो ये सारे के सारे इस एक डायग्राम में नंबर 1 पे है पेनिट्रेशन है, नंबर 2 पे है एडजॉर्प्शन है, नंबर 2 पे पेनिट्रेशन, थर्ड पे है अनकोटिंग, and then the early transcription and then the late transcription and the assembly होती है, and then they get पीछे से आवाज आ रही है मुझे जब मैं गर्दन इधर कर रहा हूँ तो इधर से आवाज आनी शुरू हो जा रही है. क्या मैं तुम लोग गर्दन उस तरफ कर दो तो नजर नहीं आया कि मेरी गर्दन इधर जा रही है. Another picture from your book, just to tell you the DNA viruses and their size is and about the RNA viruses. So coronavirus है हमारा है. This is the coronavirus. Look at the outer membrane which is containing these spikes. COVID-19, the name COVID-19 is a disease, and the viruses which causes this disease is these gentle viruses which causes this disease. Viruses are SARS, CoV-2, and 2019 and the HCO390. These are the names of the various viruses. Normally, the coronaviruses, they cause upper respiratory tract infection, right? और है इसमें जो है which reveals in something simple the common cold response, which is self-limiting and not a notorious type of the disease. And coronavirus की जो क्लासिफिकेशन मैंने बताया अल्फा, बीटा, डेल्टा, गामा, ये जो हम क्लासिफिकेशन हम जब कर रहे होते हैं तो हम बाद में बात करेंगे. 229E and L63 are alpha coronaviruses if they cause upper respiratory infection. And then the OC43 and HKU1 are the beta type of the coronaviruses which causes this. See, these four predominantly attach to the receptors of upper respiratory airway. Their name is the receptor's name is aminopeptidase and dipeptidyl peptidase 4. ये क्या बता रहा है कि ये A's का मतलब क्या हो गया? These are the enzymes in nature. सीजनलिटी में डिपेंड करता है, लेकिन होता सारा साल है. लेकिन जो कोल्ड मंथ्स हैं कौन से हैं भाई? विंटर कौन सा सीजन में होता है? हाँ, दिसंबर, जनवरी, फरवरी, मार्च तक आ जाता है आपका जो है बाहर है. तो फिर कराची के लिए जो टेम्परेट एरिया में जो है हमारा जो है वो बहुत मुश्किल से जो है वो हमें ये चीजें मिलती. लेकिन आजकल हो रही है क्योंकि आजकल जो ग्लोबल वार्मिंग चेंजेस जो आ रही हैं उसमें हमारी सारी जो है हमारी ऑल 4 beautiful seasons of 12 months of is basically is just changing now. जो फ्लड्स हो रही हैं या एक्सेसिव हीट वेव्स आ रही हैं या एक्सेसिव जो है वो ये रेन के जो रेनी सीजन आ रहे हैं बिकॉज और वो क्यों हो रहा है? बिकॉज आवर ओजोन लेयर इज नो मोर प्रोटेक्टिंग दिस ग्लोबल विलेज. और कौन से यूरिनरी ट्रैक्ट इन्फेक्शन करते हैं? अगर जो है वो राइनोवायरसेस, इन्फ्लुएंजा वायरसेस, एडिनोवायरसेस, पैराइन्फ्लुएंजा. This is the differential diagnosis of this. As far as signs and symptoms are concerned. ठीक है, respiratory syncytial virus is human pneumovirus. ठीक है. Now, novel coronavirus. This is basically the SARS and MERS and SARS-CoV-2. These are the three. But if you change your base, if you wish to go and take some good breaths, go out. Otherwise. So don't forget about it. This is the sign differential diagnosis of other causes of coronavirus, like signs and symptoms. Community acquired pneumonia is just like a global pneumonia due to the strep of the virus and the staphylococci, H-influenza. These are the bacteria, right? और varicella के प्रहार में ग्राम नेगेटिव में है एनारोबिक और बैक्टीरियल ब्रोंकाइटिस होती है, ये भी कम्युनिटी एक्वायर्ड में हो रही होती है. माइकोप्लाज्मा, these are also the causes of the pneumonia. ठीक है, निमोनिया की causes हैं. तो आपसे जो है अब ये अगर आज हमने आपको बढ़ा दिया और उसके बाद हम आपसे अगर कॉर्नर में ये सवाल डाल दें कि भाई what are the various causes except from the COVID-19 which are the causes of the pneumonia, तो फिर आप जो है वो बैठे हो तो आप तक पढ़ाएंगे. दुनिया को नॉलेज है. In 2002 and 2003, the case in the cases, diagnosed cases, the fatal rate CFR is 10%. With the SARS, ये जब आप लोग पैदा हुए थे या होने वाले थे या हो चुके थे, लेकिन you were in the laps of your mama and baba, ये वो सब की बात हो रही है, and mortality की बात, especially the young adults like 60 years after 60 years. MERS, another type of the coronavirus which causes this, especially it is related to the 35% of the direct chemical travel. So here, diagnosis Saudi Arabia. This virus was detected among the Arab population of the Saudi Arabia. That's why its name is ME, MERS. MERS, Middle East Respiratory Distress Syndrome. And what is written over here? High healthcare incidents in the workers who are you and me. Especially the cat or the nosocomial cause. What is the structure of the coronavirus? It is having a spike protein, called as a S protein from the crown. Okay? And the envelope means lipid layer. And it has an assembly and release. Envelope नहीं लगेगा, envelope के साथ लगेगा जब ये उसका जो है वो ये जो है उसकी वायर लैमिनेट जो उसकी जाके जहाँ पे होस्ट के साथ जाके इसकी जब अटैचमेंट करती है तो ये हमारा ई प्रोटीन जो है इसके साथ काम करता है और एम प्रोटीन है मेम्ब्रेन प्रोटीन शेप एंड स्ट्रक्चर ऑफ द वायरस साइटोस्केलेटन हम इसको बोल रहे हैं एंड RNA genome which carries the genetic information of good multiplication. Another picture is telling us about the little bit details. Medium-sized virus enveloped with positive strand of the RNA, lipid bilayer. अब ये इसकी वो जो shortcoming है जिसको we encash as a protection. Bilipid layer, you know, it is a fat soluble, so our routinely used soaps, they can wash it out and make the damage to the virus because the membrane is just split out because of the soap and water. So हमारी जो proper hand washing जो होती है, this causes basically how we can just protect ourselves with this because of this shortcoming of the bilipid layer of the virus. Again, the structure of proteins of the coronavirus. S की बात हमने कर ली, we get receptors, जो स्पाइस होती हैं, मेम्ब्रेन प्रोटीन की हमने बात कर ली, न्यूक्लियोटाइड कैप्सिड की बात कर ली, एनवेलप की बात कर ली, hemoagglutinin है another stress glycoprotein. In beta coronaviruses, OC43 and HCU1 only enhance the uptake in the mucosal cells of the host. So coronavirus is a disease caused by a new strain of the coronavirus called the severe acute respiratory syndrome coronavirus 2. In short form, it is the SARS-CoV-2. This is the name which causes the corona. And the cause symptoms are just like a common cold. अच्छा, सबसे पहले एक बात ये बताओ, how many of you were suffering from the corona in the days when there was an epidemic? I am raising my hand. I not only once, but I infected by coronavirus more than 2 times, which were documented. But what is happening about other things in that season? I was also having 2 bouts of common cold attacks as well. But I not bothered at that time just to check whether my status of my body. But 2 times I was documented. तो इसका मतलब है कि तुम लोग सब हेल्दी हो अभी तक? हो ही नहीं सकता. I bet statistically, what was the statistics change है about the incidence? What do you mean by incidence? Community का सवाल है. Incidence means the reporting of the new cases in the community in a span of time when it is being studied. And what is the prevalence? The previous old cases as well as the new incident cases, when you just combine both, then this is called the prevalence. ठीक है? तो ये हो ही नहीं सकता कि तुम्हारे जो इस वक्त प्रीवैलेंस में भी अगर हम आपकी एंटीबॉडी कराएं तो आपका जो है वो स्टेटस में जाने की. हाँ, ये और बात है. That is something else. That young adults, because of the good immune response, they fell into the COVID infection, but because of the body resistance, they just passed that span of this acute as well as recovery phase just in few days of having a cough and dry cough as well as some common cold and some flu-like symptoms. लेकिन ये हो नहीं सकता. But the elderly, they are having one because of the common cold, probably second after the rhinovirus. In 2002, new disease and atypical pneumonia is called the severe acute respiratory disease SARS. ये emerge हुआ था. वो जब ये हुआ था तो ये अच्छा ये खबासनी शुरू जो है वो चाइना और थाईलैंड और हांगकांग यहीं से शुरू हुई. यहाँ पर जो है न देखा जाता हलाल न देखा जाता हराम, जो चीज़ मिलती है खा लो, कुत्ता बिल्ला चूहा चिमगादड़ सब खाते चले जाओ. ये खबासनी वहीं से शुरू है. Why? Because of jumping of the chimeric genes. They are jumping from one gender to another gender. ठीक है? तो ये वहां से शुरू हुआ, सार्स के नाम से शुरू हुआ. In 2012, another severe pneumonia called the Middle East Respiratory Syndrome emerged. इसका मैंने पहले जिक्र कर चुका. It is a non-segmented, single-stranded polypolarity RNA genome enveloped with helical non-capsid nucleocapsid, and no iron for polymerase.